Okay, I think everything is normal now. Let's go back to Facebook and check if I'm live on Facebook. Okay, okay, we are back. We are back on Facebook. We are back on Facebook. Now, please, those on Facebook, please, you can just write to know if you can hear my. If you can hear my voice, those on Facebook, please write. Sorry for the inconveniences. But we must continue. We must continue. We must continue. We must continue. No, we must continue. Now we listen to the Sheikh Yahya. And while he was making this announcement, to the sitting governor was there. To the sitting governor was there. And other foreigners, we can see some. I think that white man we see there is from Arabic. You know, because after we have to hear what Rufai said about it. But first of all, let's tell our fans, he used Hausa, so let's interpret what he said in English. It's very important. Let's interpret what he said in English. Now, according to the Sheikh, what the meaning of what he said in Hausa, I say, here I argue you to prepare your votes. Let us show the world that the infidel are lying, that they are outnumbered us. Show the infidel their limits. Nigeria is a Muslim country, and want if you don't want to accept it, a Muslim ticket, you must leave Nigeria because it belongs to us. If not, because of Muslim ticket, the Christians in Nigeria will think they are more than us. This is why we must make sure the Muslim ticket continue to succeed, so that our dominance will remain sustained. Sheikh Yaya. So this is what he said, for the Muslim tickets. This is what the man said. One thing that struck my mind, he said that if you don't like it, you leave. That was the Sheikh said. He said, if you don't like Muslim ticket, that Nigeria is a Muslim country, that if you don't like it, you leave. Now, we don't like it. And that's why our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was agitated for Biafra. And you went all the way to Kenya to kidnap him and extraordinarily rendition him to Nigeria. But this check is telling us that if you don't like the Muslim ticket, that if you don't like the Muslim ticket, that you should leave. That Nigeria is a Muslim country. And believe me, after this statement, controversy, a lot of people started speaking up. A lot of people started calling for his arrest. Some people started calling for his arrest. And for me, Mazi Ezumezu Ekwensu, I said, no, no, don't call for his arrest. In fact, I would say God will bless the man, the Sheikh Yahaya. God will bless him. The reason why I said God will bless him because this guy was bold enough to speak what is in their mind, what they are hiding. That Nigeria is a Muslim country. And I'm asking you guys, what did Onyendu Mazi and Kanu be preaching for long? When Onyendu said that Nigeria don't belong to you, that Nigeria is a Muslim country, that they have a plan to Islamize Nigeria. And people say that people call him monger, hate speech, warmonger. They call him all sorts of names. But today, what Onyendu preached for years, the so-called man of God, the so-called bishops, they are now started seeing it. What Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what this man preached for years, all they can do is to tag him terrorist in Nigeria. But now, this Sheikh Yahaya has vindicated Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The man said, if you don't like it, the Muslim ticket, that Nigeria is a Muslim country, that if you don't like it, you leave. Now, check. We don't like it. We don't like it. Biafrans don't like it. We want to leave. Can you tell the caliphate? Can you tell the British government? Can you tell those oil companies that it's time to let go? That because we don't like it. We are not a Muslim. We are not Muslim. I am not Christian either. I practice Igbo spirituality. I practice Igbo spirituality. Because the fact is that these foreign religions are the problem in our land. They are the problem. Either you like it or not, I must say the truth. They are the problem we're having. Now, out of a sudden, the bishop, out of a sudden, the bishops, they now wake up and move to Abuja to tell President Tinubu that the country is not doing well. But where are they for the past 3 years? Where we are the bishop? Where we are the bishop? When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya. Where we are the bishop? Where we are the bishop? When they judge Mazi Nnamdi Kanu through appeal law, a law that does not exist. Where we are the bishop? Remember the program? I have done the program Time Without Number against Bishop Kuka, and I tell you guys, Bishop Kuka, that Chineke ya akpụ ya ọkụ. Can you see what is happening in Sokoto today? Because he refused to stand by the truth. That this was a man that came out on national TV to deceive the world that people are saying that Muslim and Nigeria, they want to Islamize Nigeria. He said there's nothing like that, because in his own house, the people that are guiding him are Muslim. This is the what he projected on national TV before Buhari. Then that so-called Buhari was still there. He said the Muslims said they are so friendly that we have to live like a one people. Now, Bishop Kuka, what is happening in Sokoto today? What is happening in Sokoto today, Bishop Kuka? I told you that compromise, a compromise. The Chukwukika Biama will destroy you. That compromise is compromise. Because you deceive our people. Our people perish. A lot of people are still dying because of your compromise, Bishop Kuka. How about Debola? Did you speak up for Debola? The answer is no. Rather, they use you to sweep everything under the carpet. But today, you group yourself and went to Abuja to tell Tinubu that nothing is working, insecurity. God will destroy all of you guys because you guys don't know God. If you guys know God, you guys will stand in the path of the truth and speak truth to the power. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary addition to Nigeria for committing nothing. Rather, the terrorists who are buying people on daily basis, they are busy protecting them, also bring them to society, pay them a monthly salary, send some to abroad, put some to Nigerian military. But an innocent man that is fighting for his people was in prison in Sokoto. Now, let's see if we can listen to uh, let's see if we can listen to Rufai. Let's see on this the same topic. Let's see if we can listen to Rufai on this the same topic.
Some people are pushing that narrative and say, yes, so yes, Daddy, should be Peter Obitu said, yes, Daddy, it's a religious war and everything.
Rufai, I put this to you.
Yes, thank you for putting it to me. But religion dominates. You know, that's the way these reckless politicians have perpetuated the destruction they do in our country. But you see, let me tell you where religion doesn't dominate. when they are stealing our national money. All of this, the reason why they want to come to power is to steal national funds, mostly. Because when you look at it, before they come to power and after they come to power, they become a lot richer. We know a lot of people that over 20 years ago, they had nothing to their name. Today, they are multi-billionaires. And you ask them, how did they make the money? They'll say, shut up your mouth. We know a lot of people that they were nothing before they came into politics. But today, they show wealth everywhere. Which resource is it? They say, shut up your mouth. If you didn't catch me, steal state resource. Because you have a better way of funneling, it does not mean that people do not know that you steal it. Because you have a judicial system that can't hold you accountable does not mean people do not know that you steal it. So when they are bereft of ideas, what they do is they look for pressure points like religion. Let me now tell you the counter-narrative they are trying to push to support this. You remember the Yes Daddy video by Peter Obi? Or the audio recording that they said was a purport telephone conversation? Mm-hmm. Some people are pushing that narrative and say, yes, so yes, Daddy should be. Peter Obi too said, yes, Daddy is a religious war and everything. Which I don't believe anything should be a religious war. But the question we should ask them this morning is, and I quote, please, will everybody sitting down there in that gathering that sees nothing wrong with a Muslim ticket as a political strategy, please, will they accept a Christian ticket? That's just where the hypocrisy lies. We sounded off about this, they say my mouth is smelly. I don't have any problems. Muslim ticket, go ahead. But please, as long as if we can say there's nothing wrong with a Christian ticket. All right? And when people feel disgruntled and they say things, you don't shut them down based on their religion. That's just the argument I want to put forward to them. Mm-hmm. You and I know that they will never accept it. If they did easily accept it, we will not have all the religious challenges we're having today. But you see, the grand scheme is we must be able to live where religion does not play a role in our politics, because both Christians, both Muslims are getting killed. It doesn't also stop the fact that there's Christian genocide. Right. In some particular parts of the country. But this asinine politics that we play, this destructive politics that we play, I'm sure we're beginning to see the results. Mm-hmm. And it is during election period that you see all of this. But you see, I pity whoever said this and the cleric, because see, no matter how much you say this to gain political advantage because governors are there, you will never be as rich. You will never have the level of access to state resources these people have. So in the end, the greatest pawn that they are using are the religious leaders to incite this and the people. In the end, it is the people that are the biggest losers. Mm-hmm. You will always be a victim of insecurity. You will always be a victim of poor economy. You will always be a victim of inflation. But them, they can steal state resources even more and hedge against inflation. So they will use you and you will dump you. And the poverty cycle continues for people at the lower level while them at the higher level enjoy. When they are both stealing state resources, they don't care if you are Muslim or Christian. All they care about is the choicest place they can hide the loot, the state loot. Right. That's all they care about. It's not about religion. Thank you. May God allow the lower people learn.
No. You can see. You see this.
Rufai, I put this to you.
Yes. Thank you for putting it to me. But religion dominates. You know, that's the way these reckless politicians have perpetuated.
So, sorry for that. Sorry for that. I have a call, you know, so but I just maybe. Mazi, hello, Mazi, can I call you later? I'm online. Can I call you later? You go. Oh? Yeah. Now, you see the problem I have with this multimedia or maybe main media stream in Nigeria. You know, before he's talking about tickets, Muslim tickets, that if he's Christian, will they accept it? But that is not the main issue. The main issue is that this man make deeper statement that need to every Nigerian should be concerned of. He used the word infidel. We know what when a Muslim call you infidel, you know what it is. You know the meaning, infidel. And he said again that if you don't like it, you should leave. If you don't like it, you should leave. And he said again that Nigeria is a Muslim country. But all those things, they refuse to talk about it. They refuse to talk about it. They were emphasizing on the ticket. But the main issue that's supposed to be making headline that this man made a lot of statements that need to be questioned. He said he referred to you as infidel. We know what infidel means. He said again that Nigeria is a Muslim country. But in constitution, Nigeria is a secular state. He said again, if you don't like it, you should leave. All these things, they are not talking this in mainstream media in Nigeria. You know why? Because they have given them peanuts. But guess what? A day will come, those money will become valueless. It will become on value to you guys. You will they in fact they will give you guys will reject the money. A day will come, that money will become nothing, worthless. Because your soul and your spirit is not settled. Because your soul and your spirit is fighting. Because your soul and your spirit is uncomfortable. A day will come, those people that are supposed to be speaking up and refuse to speak because maybe envelope, maybe money have changed hands. You say, okay, let me just be with my family, or let me just take my family out of Nigeria. A day will come, you will reject that money. Then death will be knocking on your door. Death will be knocking on your door. Look at what's happening in Plateau State. Look at how many they buy in Benue State. 25 people. About some few days ago. But when Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, allow my people to go, that we are not Nigeria, that since my people are not welcome in Nigeria, allow us to go. He just went to Kenya to kidnap him. He went to Kenya to kidnap him. You rendition him to Nigeria. You make him to face unconstitutional law in Nigeria. Appeal law that does not exist. And I ask, where were those credible men? Where were those bishops? Have they come together and say, we must, since the state governors refuse to speak the truth, we as a men of God, we must tell Tinubu the truth. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because he's committed nothing. Have they done that? No. But guess what? A day is coming. A day is coming. And it's very, very soon. Very, very soon. Like I always say, Tinubu, If you don't release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, somebody else will release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now let's look into another video. Maybe let's look into another video we would like to bring up. Hold on. Now let's listen to him.
To power.
And everybody, many people
I
are.
know many people.
I spoke on behalf of my fellow
yes,
bishops.
Because recently, after the meeting with the president,
Yes.
some of the things that are supposed to have been done in Nigeria, there were some clashes from the presidency that we are not supposed to have said in the public. Do you feel embarrassed about that?
And I don't have to, because there were other voices now on the social media. Not only that, so I didn't even have to reply to anything. Other people have spoken on my behalf. I didn't go to arise to please government or to just please people, but to tell the truth. That's all I stand for. So, I cannot be embarrassed. I'm 82 years old. Nobody can embarrass me. And I'm not afraid of anybody. Nobody at this stage now. Are they going to arrest me? Carry me to where? And we are still lucky in this Nigeria. We can still talk. We shouldn't take that for granted. There are many countries in Africa where no bishop dares to talk like we do here. That we can still talk, and all they do is to insult you. They don't carry you and lock you up in an unknown dungeon. That means we are not doing badly.
We still have religious leaders like...
No, mind you, I didn't talk on my own now. I spoke on behalf of my fellow bishops. We drafted a statement. We contained all that I said in the interview. So all the bishops of Nigeria spoke that way. It was their voice I was echoing. And each of them are free to say the same thing in their dioceses. And they are doing it. I cannot speak on behalf of other religious leaders. Everybody have their own job to do. But many of the other religious leaders have supported us. I cannot start telling all those who have been supporting us and say, yes, what we said represents what everybody else, what they themselves do. Non-Catholic leaders, Muslim leaders, they have all spoken. When it comes to what is happening to Nigeria, the poverty, the suffering, we are all in the same boat now. And everybody, many people are.
I know many people.
I spoke on behalf of my fellow bishops.
Because recently, after the meeting with the president.
Now, let's go to that meeting. Let's see if we have it. Let's see. Okay. Now, we go here. We do it in this way. Yeah. But first of all, let's go to the bishop before we go to the interview he granted. Okay. Here we go.
Indeed for coming in.
Thank you very much.
So I'm joined now in the studio by John Cardinal Onyendu, Archbishop Emeritus of the Catholic Diocese of Abuja, who was among the senior Catholic bishops that met President Tinubu at the presidential villa this. So I'm joined now in the studio by John Cardinal Onyendu, Archbishop Emeritus of the Catholic Diocese of Abuja, who was among the senior Catholic bishops that met President Tinubu at the presidential villa this week. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you very much, Charles, for inviting me. Good evening, viewers. God bless all of you.
And you. I'm very curious, when the bishop who was your spokesperson.
That's the president
Yes,
of our
the
bishops'
president of
conference,
the Bishops' Conference.
the new president,
Right.
Bishop Dagoso.
Yeah, when he
Mando.
was reading that statement, which was a fairly sort of robust and critical statement, I mean, what was the reaction on the president's face? Was he rolling his eyes and sort of looking every which way, or was he listening attentively?
Both.
Right.
Both. Let me say first and foremost that that statement read by our president was not just put together at random. It was carefully
Considered.
prepared. And
Odumegu Ojukwu, head of an independent state, not the young Emeka whom I had known in Yaba Lake.
So the meeting between the Catholic bishops and President Tinubu this week attracting national attention, not merely because it brought together the country's political leadership and one of the most influential religious bodies, but because of the unusually candid message delivered behind the walls of the presidential villa. The Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria warned that the country's democracy must not drift towards a one-party dominant state, urged the president to guarantee genuinely free and credible elections in 2027, and painted a sobering picture of a nation still grappling with insecurity, widespread hardship, and growing public frustration. President Tinubu, for his part, defended his administration's economic reforms, insisting that INEC has remained neutral and promising that expanded military capacity, new equipment, and ongoing reforms will ultimately defeat terrorism and improve the lives of Nigerians. But beyond the official statements, can moral persuasion from institutions like the Catholic Church still shape governance in this country?
Do not pay somebody to build you a Shopify store, because I'm going to do it free with 20 handpicked products by myself and my expert team and professionally written ad copy for all of those products at no charge. And if you don't believe me, I dare.
We urge you to encourage elected political office holders who are members of your party, governors, members of the National Assembly, local government chairmen, to ensure that a genuine level playing field is maintained and that focus is placed on making everyone see that the rules and processes are fair to all and respected by all. As a man who risked so much in the struggle for the return of democratic rule in the dark days of military dictatorship, your greatest legacy would be the strengthening of our democratic institutions.
All is fair in politics, and is equal opportunity. INEC, you mentioned, are neutral. They've never intimidated anybody. If political opponents are crying wolves, maybe they are afraid of their own shadows and the uncertainty in the companies they keep. Not me. I'm ready to, but I won't give them red carpet. I won't offer them the leash to tie me and rope me. No. We wrestle each other to the finishing point. That's the truth. That's fair in politics.
President Tinubu there. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by John Cardinal Onyendu, Archbishop Emeritus of the Catholic Diocese of Abuja, who was among the senior Catholic bishops that met President Tinubu at the presidential villa this week. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you very much, Charles, for inviting me. Good evening, viewers. God bless all of you.
And you. I'm very curious, when the bishop who was your spokesperson.
That's the president of our bishops' conference, the new president, right. Bishop Ndagoso.
Yeah, when he was reading that statement, which was a fairly sort of robust and critical statement, I mean, what was the reaction on the president's face? Was he rolling his eyes and sort of looking every which way, or was he listening attentively?
Both.
Right.
Both. Let me say first and foremost that that statement read by our president was not just put together at random. It was carefully prepared and with wide consultation. The Bishops' Conference is bigger than the group of us that went there, but it's very representative of the Bishops' Conference. First, we had our administrative board, which is representative of all. And to make sure that it's even more representative, we ensure that every archbishop, we are 9 archbishops, will be there too. So it is the Catholic Bishops' Conference that produced that document.
Right.
Wrote, rewrote, wrote and rewrote. So it was not done. It was not written at random, nor did we deliver it with levity. Levity. I think I had an opportunity in your program to remind Nigerians that as bishops, we have no ambitions to take Mr. Tinubu's job or anybody else's job. We are not politicians running for office. We are first and foremost religious leaders who feel we have a duty, not just to preach our religious doctrines, but also to address the lives of our people, both those who are our members and those who are not our members. You can see that from the content and the tone of our statement.
So you become like liberation theologians.
No, not at all. Liberation theologians can be considered more or less ideological, which we are not. Which we are not. You asked me, how did I see the face of
the president in reaction?
I was not surprised that he was not looking very happy. Nor even his colleagues who were there. We knew that this is different from the kind of statements that our president keeps receiving from all kinds of people. And that is one of the things that worries us, that there are so many people hanging around Mr. President, giving him a rosy picture of what the country is, which it is not. And we felt that we have no duty to do that. Indeed, we have the obligation to help him to appreciate the reality of the situation in which we find ourselves. And that is the reality that we painted, which I know is not the kind of thing that he wanted to hear. And the reply shows very clear.
I'm concerned that your cross is going over your microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, and you can see his reply. We left that hall, both sides, knowing that, we said what we had to say. He said what he had to say.
So was it a frosty meeting then? Would you describe it as fairly frosty? Because, I mean, many Nigerians have become accustomed to polite meetings between religious leaders and political leaders.
When the nation is bleeding, you can't expect a polite meeting with the head of state. We need to let him know. And his reply is that the nation is not bleeding. We told him our economy is not helping our poor people. He told us the economy is doing fine. Practically speaking, he told us quite clearly that he did not agree with us. Again, I said, we're not surprised. We didn't expect him to agree with us. We have done our duty. We have delivered our message. And we have a feeling that somehow, along the line, somebody will show him a few of the things we said.
But in terms of, if you like, your immediate observations, you left the presidential villa believing that the president did not actually really, hear your concerns. He listened to them, but he didn't actually hear them.
He heard it, and he tried to tell us that he heard us, which is precisely why he replied the way he replied. He replied to the points we raised, and disagreed with them. So he must have heard it. The only question now is this disagreement his final position? Or will there be people around him whose job it is to draw his attention that, listen, these guys who came here in white garments, they have not made any personal requests for oil wells or, or any particular personal things. Maybe we should listen to what they are saying. I think we believe one of the problems within our government right now is there are not too many people telling him the truth, which is a pity. We need to have. Whether in terms of economy or in terms of insecurity, and above all, the area of political climate.
Well, let me come to that political climate, because the Catholic Bishops' Conference warned against what it described as the creeping danger of a one-party dominant state. What was the president's response to that? Because his party, the APC, argues that if opposition parties are weak or fragmented, that is simply politics at work, and they shouldn't be concerned if their party becomes overwhelmingly dominant. I mean, that's a political advantage for them, not through their own making.
The position of Mr. President came very clearly in that statement that he made. In politics, all is fair. Is that true? If that is what politics is, that in politics everything can be done, provided you win election.
Well, clearly that's not correct.
That is not
correct. If that is
correct.
what was said, then it is certainly not correct.
That is not.
There is
we heard it.
There is propriety in everything, and there ought to.
And that is what we are worried about. We are worried about the fact that we see clearly that our government is bent on winning by all means. And unfortunately, they have a lot of means at their disposal to win. And they are deploying all those means in a way that eventually, even if we had a free and fair election, the votes of the people may not count. But we gave two warnings.
Right.
We gave two warnings. The one you mentioned. I'm trying to remember now. But the second one is that if we do not rearrange our election system to make sure that elections are really free, fair, and credible, it can lead to difficulties.
Right. I mean, you talked about the dominance of a one-party state.
Okay, yes.
And then
we want that the country doesn't gain anything by a one-party state in a so-called democracy. There's nothing. Of course, we are not expecting Mr. President to help the opposition to defeat him. No. But the point we are raising is that even though the president has all the powers of incumbency, he is, in the election, he is a candidate like any other. He is a candidate like any other. And that is why we call our electoral commission independent. Now, there are doubts in some quarters about how independent this electoral commission
But he talked about the electoral commission.
He said so.
He said it was independent.
He says so. But like we also said, words are not enough.
Yeah, but his point was that it is independent to the extent that, according to him, he's not interfering in the matter. Now, whether the INEC itself decides that because they basically are working under the executive that's in power, that they're going to do the things that they think will help that executive. I mean, I suppose his point is that that's not his making. In other words, that the key point here is whether he himself is interfering in the process. And his argument is that he's not.
Well, the Nigerian political system, the way it is now constructed, precisely is leading to a situation where the INEC cannot be independent. The chairman and all the members, all the commissioners have been appointed by the president.
Yes, it does raise eyebrows.
Now, and the idea, the presumption is that Mr. President will appoint independent, impartial, wonderful people. But on ground, we see that all of them are not only politicians, but members of his party. And which means we have a situation here of what in our religion.
Well, they argue that, I mean, they're not members. They're not members of his party. They're simply maybe people who some argue maybe sympathize with them, but they're not actually members. I mean, the INEC chairman is clearly
until we find a system where the membership of the Electoral Commission is put together not by Mr. President, but by a truly independent entity.
Yeah, that would remove the doubts.
And that is not an impossible thing to do. It's done elsewhere. We could do it if we wanted to do it. And whether our present president is in the mood to go that direction, I don't know.
Now, you reminded President Tinubu that he fought for democracy during military rule and suggested that strengthening democratic institutions could become his greatest legacy. What was his reaction to you effectively telling him that this could be a defining moment for his presidency?
Well, I cannot say I looked at his face at that particular
right.
I can't say, because during most of the time that they were reading, I was very, very attentive on myself.
Right.
Listening, we only looked at. We are hoping that that kind of statement challenges him. That you have a reputation to be a Democrat. You can't, under your watch our democratic structures disintegrate.
Right, but he didn't respond to that specific thing.
Well, we believe, can I say here, silence is consent, that he agrees, he must agree with what we said there. How he will do it, we don't know. We still have this problem in Nigeria, how incumbents can allow a free and fair playground in elections. We still have that problem. And whereas we know that in those democratic places that we always look up to, it is a normal thing that we have alternation of one party after the other. And during elections, the onus of proofing to the electorate always lies on the incumbent party to prove that we have done well. Here in Nigeria, is the other way around. The other way around, if you are not in power, you just have no way to even move. And it just means that we just continue, and we're going to continue like that. I think we have done our duty. I have the feeling that somehow there are people around him. They may not change everything overnight. But I hope nobody thought that any political party is sending us. There's no way any political party can gather that kind of group
I
together.
don't think they thought that.
From different parts.
I'd be astonished.
From different parts of Nigeria,
right.
Yes. It isn't as if bishops haven't got their own different political feelings. So we do have differences.
They do,
We do have differences. But when it comes to what is important for Nigeria, when it comes to our existential existence, when it comes to the life of our people, we are united. We are united that we deserve more than what we are getting now. And that therefore, when the government keeps congratulating itself, we feel that this is misplaced. And therefore, because it is not even looking at difficulties, they are not doing enough to address those difficulties.
Okay, well, let's move away temporarily from that, because you wear, beyond the red hat you're wearing, you wear a different sort of hat as a peacemaker when it comes to the elections. And with just days to go before the August the 15th governorship election in Osun State, let's just look briefly at the Osun Peace Accord. You were there as 14.
Okay, my people, we have allowed it to play at least 16 minutes. Now, to mark they call themselves man of God. And on this program, he said, then we speak with things is bothering their people. He said, it's their duty to speak truth to the power. But let's ask this man, did he speak any truth to the power? The answer is no. Rather, he went there for a politics. That INEC should be independent. Tinubu, he talked about insecurity. Now, one part of the country, the southeast, are crying for something. What are they crying? Their son that had been kidnapped in Kenya and renditioned to Nigeria and was wrongly sentenced to life imprisonment. This issue did not bother these bishops. And some of these bishops, they are Igbos. Some of them are Igbos. This did not bother this bishop. It's not, no. It's not something that they can take to Mr. President, right? Something that caused a lot of life in Southeast. Students are not going to school. Market being shut down for years. Now this is getting gradually, open. But all those things about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is not something they can talk of. The bishop, right? A case that has been discussed in the state of Israel is not worthy to this bishop to take to Asulok, right? A case that has been discussed in U.S. Congress is not worthy to this bishop to take to Asulok and ask Tinubu to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that is an innocent man. Check out what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said for years. Tell me if there's anyone have not come to pass a step one coming of Biafra. Now, if these men that call themselves men of God cannot stand before Tinubu and say, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an innocent man, release him and let him go. That tells you that what I say to you guys, that this religion, this fallen religion, Muslim and Christian, are the problem we are having. They are the real problem we are having. Because all of them have game of interest. That man, those people that went to Aso Rock, also the man that granted this interview, President Tinubu know that Obi is their favorite. So you expect Tinubu to listen to your garbage about INEC. Just because you came for your interest. You didn't came for interest of people. If you came for the interest of the people, you will speak truth to the power. There's no one in Nigeria that have been wrongly judged like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. A man that they did not find even one single bullet, jackknife. His movement, his organization, non-violent organization, have been labeled terrorists, proscribed. Then after then, they went and kidnapped the man and take him to Sokoto, also sentenced life imprisonment. These men call themselves men of God. They speak the truth. On Sunday, you will see them on the altar preaching, asking you to say the truth at all time, asking you to do the needful, asking you to be a good way to others. But them, they cannot. They cannot. They went to Abuja. When they talk about the insecurity, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case should be number one. They will ask Tinubu, who have We have watched Mazi Kanu case from day one to this point. Please use your office and do the needful. Please use your office and do the needful. They refuse to do that because they are all liars. These fallen religions, they are liars. They are the one using to cage our people. We can this on can't say but I'll tell you the facts. Okay, let me show you guys this thing. Let me show you this video. I think this video has been trending. Let me see if I have it. If I don't download it, maybe I have to play it some other time. But I hope that maybe I will have it and download it. Okay, maybe we can play some other time, but let's listen to this. You have to listen to this.
Message that is being passed through is that it doesn't matter how
So before we play this, let's finish. Let's finish this point. Let's finish this point I want to make. This point, on this bishop. Believe me, take it to bank. Is he Muslim? Is he Christian? They are our problem because they are using them to tie the people down. They are using them to tie the people down. Most especially Christians. Look at how people are being by on daily basis in middle belts. Look at how people are being by in on daily basis in middle belts. But he went to Abuja. He went to Buhari. I'm sorry, to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, telling him about insecurity, telling him about INEC. But the man that warned you about insecurity was sentenced to life imprisonment. He refused to remind President Tinubu to use his office to make sure that this man is free. Whether you guys like it or not, Mazi Kanu will be free. Whether you guys like it or not, he will be free. Let's listen to this, our brother. I think it was a former
what message that is being passed through is that it doesn't matter how bad, how incompetent, how corrupt, how morally decrepit a Muslim is, that Muslim has the right to dominate, rule, and control Nigeria than a competent, incorrupt, and very cerebral Christian or animist, as the case may be. So I think that what they are trying to tell us is, to hell with you. You don't belong to this country. And the problem that I don't understand is, if these people don't want us, why don't they let us go? Why is there a problem with having Biafra or Oduduwa land or anything? If they feel that they cannot accommodate us in this country and that the best of us is not good enough to rule, but the worst of them is good enough to rule, what kind of a country is that? What message that is being passed through is that it doesn't matter how bad, how incompetent, how corrupt, how morally decrepit a Muslim is, that Muslim has the right to dominate, rule, and control Nigeria than a competent, incorrupt, and very cerebral Christian or animist, as the case may be. So I think that what they are trying to tell us is, to hell with you. You don't belong to this country. And the problem that I don't understand is, if these people don't want us, why don't they let us go? Why is there a problem with having Biafra or Oduduwa land or anything? If they feel that they cannot accommodate us in this country and that the best of us is not good enough to rule, but the worst of them is good enough to rule, what kind of a country is that?
Well, for those of you who say, this man make a lot of sense. Say yes, people are speaking up. His name is Professor Chinedu Nebo. I think former minister of power. Former minister of power. He was once a politician. Maybe he's retired. I know most of you will say yes. What he say is truth. Of course, what he say is truth. But what is he doing? What is he doing? When have this man, this Professor Chinedu, come on air on mainstream media and ask Nigeria government to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? For me, this man is a coward. He's a coward because he was referring to that sheikh that said that they are Muslim and there is a Muslim state. Now he's pleading to the man. Yes, since you cannot give us power, why can't us leave? Why can't you let us go? Let us go. Mwa na-ekwukwu ya, this akpa ụlọ a na-ekwukwu ya. Ọ mụnwa nọ in position to make that statement. But Gunwa not in position to carry out the practical, organize people to face the people in the north. Even with the capacity, I don't have the capacity. This man with the capacity to organize people, who will organize a conference. Oku ndị Igbo, see no, enough is enough. That we must go and bring our brother back home. We must go and bring our son back home. That when people did not speak, that then he will speak. Oh, we had the power to do so. But guess what? It's one of them, just because mmiri juoga wọnụ. Agwara m na kwamile na-achị izo. Ọ ya ama onye ukwu ma onye nta. Ọ ya ama onye ukwu ma onye nta. Mmiri na-achị izo. Ọ ya ama onye ukwu ma onye nta. He was a former minister of power. He had the capacity to organize people. I said, no, we must go and bring our son back home. Oh, we have the capacity to even stage a peaceful protest in Southeast calling for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You think because of his statement, I'll come to clap for you guys. Yeah, clap for him. Hey, yes. Yeah. Just like in Kapolo when Dolis Ogala. In Kapolo when Dolis Ogala, I want to be Abia State governor. It was, if anyone want to be relevant, you use Mazi Nnamdi Kanu name. Then ask yourself, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not doing it well, why must they be always using his name to be relevant? Why? Why? This man is telling you. So if you don't want to give us the power, you don't want us to rule, let us go. Then when Onyendu told people like this that Nigeria is not for them, that it's time for we to go back home and do what? And build ourselves. It is time. But this man wants to rule Nigeria. Now he have come to at a point that, okay, if you don't want to give us the power, let us go. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been saying this for years, that these people don't value you guys, that you are not in the same stage with these people. They don't see you as a human being. They see you as an infidel. Agwa m unu na this tonight preach na ama ntụ ụtọ. Ama ntụ ụtọ ma mụ amala m ekwu. Ịghọtago? Ma mụ amala ekwu. This tonight preach na ama ntụ ụtọ. Ọ ga na-ada ka tọnda. Eziokwu Chineke. Now let's take it.
What message that is being passed through is that it doesn't matter how bad, how incompetent, how corrupt, how morally decrepit a Muslim is, that Muslim has the right to dominate, rule, and control Nigeria than a competent, incorrupt, and very cerebral Christian or animist, as the case may be. So
I said before now that the problem we are having is these two religions, Christian and Muslim. Look at his neck. I think he's a priest now. He's a priest now. Now, that Sheikh Yahaya have told them that they hold Nigeria, that Nigeria belongs to them. That's why they are raising their ugly heads. But before now, they were waiting for their turn. Why their people are perishing? Why their people are suffering? Look at what's going on in the Enugu state. About 16 communities are being chased out by Fulani Janjaweed. 16 communities are being chased out by Fulani Janjaweed in their own land, have been chased out. Where were these men? Even churches being born. Where were these bishops? Where were they? Where were they? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu established ESN that keeping them safe today. If not the ESN. Also Akatanu na Igbo before now. If not ESN, onye gbọtọrọ ya n'ibie. But this man decided to die with the devil. But now the devil is after them. And now what's what? Tika. Let's listen to Doris. Let's listen to Doris. I have it now. Okay. Get Nancy. Get Nancy.
I support what
Okay,
Nnamdi Kanu is doing 100%
okay.
because
Yeah.
he's like a messiah, he's like a prophet
Okay.
that we didn't see coming. Everything he has prophesied has come to pass. Everything he said is what is happening today. And let me tell you something, if I am the governor today, the first thing I will seek for is Nnamdi Kanu's pardon. And I know that if my president, Omoyele Sowore, who has shown his public support for Nnamdi Kanu, becomes the president, he will release the Nnamdi Kanu that same day. Because we do not, my party, AAC, do not support what is being done to Nnamdi Kanu. We are fully behind Nnamdi Kanu. I support him. Not only he is a leader of IPOB, he is my brother. And I support him 100%. And I am telling the president, well, their president now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to, with immediate effect, revisit Nnamdi Kanu's imprisonment and get him released. I'm talking to you. Dear President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I am telling you with immediate effect to revisit Nnamdi Kanu's imprisonment and have him released immediately. Because by the time Omoyele Sowore becomes the president, Nnamdi Kanu will release the next minute.
This same girl have been in a space where the Mazi kind of being attacked, be blackmailed. She refused to say anything. She refused to say something. In fact, this girl and Udene, they are in good terms. How many times has this girl called Udene? Say, no, don't don't say this to my own brother. He said Mazi is his brother. Fine and good. He says, don't say this to my brother. Don't say this to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He mean well for the people. Withdraw your step, withdraw this, don't do this. No. But when she developed interest in becoming governor, when he joined politics trying to upset Oti, now Doris can able to come on media to use Maznakan to chase clouds, to use our leader, to use our leader. Because like I said before, if you want to become if you want to become relevant, you use Mazin Nandikan. Now this will tell you that what Mazin Nandikan is fighting for, all of them know that is good. All of them know that Mazin Nandikan committed no evil. That's why when they want people to listen to them, they will use the word, they will use the name Mazin Nandikan. Let's listen to this thing. No, it's a Dele Fatromi. No, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. One of the Yoruba songs I respect. Yeah, let's listen to him.
Nigeria has proven Nnamdi Kanu right at every point. We start here today. I'm speaking Dogon Turenchi. I have no single argument against, not one single argument against the facts that have been adduced by Nnamdi Kanu in his agitation against the Nigerian state. Not one. And if you press a little further, I am today convinced that Nnamdi Kanu was 110% correct in his assessment of the Nigerian state, what ails it. He was correct. But today, he sat in a cell somewhere and numerous murderers are walking around free.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is vindication. The man is correct. Nigeria encourages madness. If it will not listen to rational voices, it became inevitable that more extreme voices will be spoken in the language that Nigeria understands. And of course, you've seen the rise of the Umezuruke of this world and the multiple persons who had traded on the grievances of Ndigbo to build separatist movements demanding separation from Nigeria. I've had multiple occasions to address separatist agitators, both in Ndigbo land, in Yoruba land, and elsewhere. There are reasons why separatist noises have not found ventilation or action in Nigeria. And this is because outside of the state and the multiple evils that the state has mollycoddled, the only other persons who have sought to keep dialogues in violence have been counter-revolutionary groups such as Boko Haram and the rest. Now, if you who have genuine grievances now believe that you can use violence to achieve the goal, what you do is that you play into the hand of the system, which then delegitimizes your genuine grievances on account of the medium of expression. Let me be clear. Everything the oppressed does in pursuit of freedom will find no condemnation from me, including violence. But I may not support it because I do not believe that it would achieve the goal. That is not me condemning it. So what you have found in this time is that in Igbo land, you've had persons trading off the grievance of the people to gain offices, to gain political patronage, to make money. And then you've also had persons who have genuine grievances, are not interested in trading off it, demand changes, but embraced the wrong methodologies in my own view. I may not be correct.
Now, this Dele is a Yoruba man. I respect him. He always said it the way it is. Go and check his stand from the one on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If someone like this can see the injustice against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, how about the bishop? They don't see it right? They don't see it right? And then the fact, let me tell you, they say even the terrorists are moving around. Nobody's disturbing them. Now, I want you guys to watch this. I want you guys to watch this. Let's see if Dele is lying. I need to change this theme yard. No, I don't like this. No. This time I change this theme yard. This time. This time I change this theme yard. Okay. Now I want you guys to watch. What is Mafuye, this the lead terrorist beside Nigeria police van and policemen, they were there. And these terrorists have their own AK-47 before the police. And they are making selfie. This is a country he called a nation that you think it will no, it will protect its own people. And if you look in and if you look those boys, they're those young boys, not up to 25 years. No, if you look there, you know that they are not from Nigeria. If you look, if we knew that they are not from Nigeria, they are with AK-47 beside the police people. But in Southeast, police are shooting unarmed civilians. When we protest, they shot us with fire, our banners. But see the main terrorists beside police. They are with life with AK-47 and they are innocent and they are walking the street of Nigeria free. Nobody is harassing them. But a man that said that let my people go, Mahatma Gandhi that said let my people go, you jail him with on no law, appeal on no law, life imprisonment. What the soldiers are doing in our land, in our home, they are burning our houses. They are burning our houses. Now let's go. Let's see if we have any video about the house that have been bombed by Nigerian soldiers. Let's see if we have any video. Okay. I want you guys to watch this.
Look at what is happening live. Look at it.
This is our home.
Everywhere was condemned. Look at it, everything was condemned. How condemned the house, how destroyed the house. All the building has been destroyed. Look at it, where a single man at this house. How condemned all the building. What kind of a country? What the country I know here? What kind of a village is this? Look at what is happening in Nnamdi State, in Uli, here, local government. Look at what is happening. The army people came to our village and set our house on fire. Then destroy everything that we have. Look at it. Look at it. You people should see what is happening here. You people should see what's happening here. Everywhere is on fire. Everything is on fire. Everywhere is on fire. Look at what is happening here live. Look at it.
Okay. This happened in Anambra State. In Anambra State. Soldiers, what they know how to do best is to burn our house in Southeast. When they came to Southeast, our Igbo politicians, they will not talk because of their personal interest in politics. If not the Wise Council, what could have been going on in Enugu State today in Ogo could have been worse than what happened in Osu. It's as a result of people intervene and start shouting, and now withdraw themselves. If not, Osu could have been It could have been a child's play that what is going to happen at Enugu State or now. Some of these so-called people that say that they call themselves Igbo, but I know in their vein, the blood of an Igbo man is not only in their vein. People like Udene, people like God, man is God to man. People like Blessed Dawn, people like Bright Chimezie, people like Chibuzie Guatu. They will tell you they buy soldier. That means all the villages need to be burned down. Listen, I'm not in support of in anything by. I'm not in support by your own people. No. But can you compare what is going on in our land to what is going on in the north? In the north, they have by more than 4 generals. 4 generals. They have shot fighter jet down. Still yet, no village we are born. No village we are born. Let that happen in the southeast. That means the whole state will be overrun by soldiers. I just play you a video. The terrorists, young boys with AK-47 by the side of Nigeria police. See yet nothing being done to them. But just like what Sheikh Yahaya said, he said the whole Nigeria. He said the whole Nigeria. If that one no sweet you, go. When will our people wake up and say it is time? Either now or never. When? Look at what military is doing in our land. I think on this note, we have to call it a day. You know, I told you guys that we have a message to people at Finland. Maybe tomorrow we'll pass that message to them. We're going to start earlier tomorrow. You know, we're going to start earlier tomorrow. Tomorrow we shall pass that message to them. You know, we have a kind of let's say little problem where we are starting. You know, but everything being equal, everything is all good. Tomorrow I will try to be out. We shall come earlier tomorrow. Then we have to pass that message to people at Finland. Now there's some video we need to play. You know, it's really, very important tomorrow. You know, on this note, ana m asụ na onye afụta ka anyị afụ echi. Ndụ nwoke ndụ nwaanyị. Ndụ nwoke ndụ nwaanyị. Ndụ onye ndu anyị. Ogbo n'aka na iwe ogbo aka iwe ọma ndụ nka. Ana m asụ na ọ ya mara anyị mma. Ọ ya mara anyị mma. Ndewonu. Ndewonu ụmụ Chineke. Ndewonu.
Excuse me, dance here. Once again, you don't want to see when no. I thought the man, you know, you're one way. My finger, but I'm the scat and pure. I thought that's the more you go. If I got your van.
By time, by white,
it's